Good morning, all of my Nutraharmony family, and welcome in. I am so glad that you guys are here with me today. And if you're just joining, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. If you are part of our Nutraharmony family, if you are brand new, either way, I hope you had an incredible Christmas with family and friends, whether it was calm and cozy or busy and full. One thing we all tend to share right after the holidays is that feeling of, okay, it's over. Now I need a rest, right? There's like a little window between Christmas and the new year. And it's honestly one of my favorite times because the celebrations, they like immediately wind down right after Christmas is over. The pressure starts to lift a little bit and it becomes the perfect moment to just begin to refocus, but not in a dramatic way, not with extremes. It's just simple supportive habits that we can kind of start leaning into that help you step into a new year just feeling better. Because that's what we all want to do, right? Is just feel better, feel more energized, feel more centered and more grounded, and just be able to kind of um, walk through our day feeling good. So that is what the live stream today is about. I'm going to take just 2 seconds and check my audio really quickly. 2 seconds and check my audio. All right, got it. Let me mute myself again. Got to check those things just to make double and triple sure. Okay, so today's live is all about getting that natural, steady energy. And I've definitely experienced that. Things have significantly changed in my life in that area specifically. But I'm talking the kind of energy that goes in and supports your day without all of those jitters, without the overstimulation that comes with caffeine, and without the crash that most people experience, especially around this time of year. So think of this as a new year, new you energy conversation, at least, giving your body the support that it needs as you kind of step right into January. So let's not wait until January 1st, like most other people do. What is it about January 1st? It always gets people pumped up to like make all the changes. Let's go ahead and get in front of that trending date. Let's go ahead and start prioritizing our own health, and let's go ahead and get that natural energy going. So today we are focusing on 3 Nutraharmony essentials that work beautifully together. And I have been taking, well, 3 products, 4 different ways to take it, because the lion's mane, for instance, happens to be available in the drops and the capsules. So, and we're going to go over all of that, but basically it's the Nutraharmony D3 and K2 drops, and we all need that little bit of sunshine right now, or vitamin D, I should say. And then the Methylated B-Complex capsules, which is basically like the engine for energy metabolism. And then the lion's mane, and this is kind of the ultimate mental clarity, because lion's mane mushroom is a renowned adaptogen. It has been celebrated for its cognitive benefits for centuries. And of course, after all of the Christmas, well, it started with Thanksgiving, all of the food fun, and then it goes into the Christmas indulgences. And then, of course, the schedule disruption right during the holidays. Your body and your mind, they're probably in a little bit of a wonky state, maybe just trying to kind of recoup. Let's give your body and your mind a gentle but effective push to return to that optimal kind of living. So these 3 core products are designed really to provide comprehensive foundational support, not just quick fixes, because those never last, right? That is not sustainable. And even if you could sustain it, your body becomes immune to a lot of those temporary fixes, like caffeine, or they have their inevitable side effects that go along with it. Before I get too much further ahead of myself, I want you guys to know 2 things. These live streams are only for informational purposes. They are never intended to replace medical advice. It's always a very safe practice and an important one to consult with your healthcare provider before you add any new health supplement into your daily regime. And also, there is a pretty amazing promo going on right now, and it's just through the next few days, just through December. So if you guys enter, and I have it scrolling across the bottom, and it's also in the chat box. So if you enter NH December 20, so NH for Nutraharmony, the word December, and the numbers 20, all one word, doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase, you will have the chance at checkout to put that promo code in. It's right around the area of where you can enter your payment information. And it'll, I think you scroll down depending upon the device that you're using, and you'll see like where you can enter a gift card or a promo code. So that's the promo code you're going to enter. That will get you 20% off of 2 items. You have to choose 2 items, but that'll get you an amazing 20% off. So I'm excited about that. So go ahead and definitely take advantage of that discount and stock up on some of these amazing deals. Now, this part is important because we're talking about, clean, sustained energy. So I want you guys to know that these foundational core items are not in any way stimulants. You will never ever find that sudden rush, heart palpitations, the inevitable crash that I definitely experience when I'm like high dosing caffeine or other like synthetic, energy boosters, things like that. These are not that way. These are supportive tools that work with your body, for your body, not against them. And it's designed to help your body kind of ease back into the routine after the holidays and just feel more steady, more balanced, get that natural energy, and then focus as you kind of move forward, better focus as you move forward in wrapping up this year and going into the new one. So by nourishing your system, but only on a cellular level, that's a huge difference between like a temporary caffeine fix versus a nourishment within, that's going to help you achieve that true grounded sense of wellness and that sustained energy level that we all really try to achieve throughout the day. Everybody wants to have better energy. You want the energy that doesn't give you the jitters, right? That's what we're here to talk about. So before we dive in, let me know who you are in the chat box. I would love to get to know you and where you're joining me from. I'm going to keep track, hopefully, of my comments coming in or any questions. But I'd love to hear from you in the chat. So after Christmas, how are you feeling? Where are you feeling it most? Do you have low energy? Is it that brain fog, or is it just feeling kind of off schedule? For me, it's usually the strange kind of in-between feeling where the holidays are over, but my routine hasn't quite reset yet. I'm very much a creature of habit and a routine kind of person. I thrive in a routine. So, and I love the chaos that, being with family and visiting and traveling and all that stuff brings, at least for the most part. We have definitely overdone it in the travel area a year or 2 ago. And wow, I said never again. But when my routine is kind of broken, that's when my system just kind of like, it needs a minute to do a reset. All right. So I want to start with the foundation of this energy reset, basically. And these are the Nutraharmony D3 and K2 drops. And I've got those highlighted on the product carousel. And I also want you to know that, and then I'll switch back. I want you to see that there is a bundled discount. There's a combo pack. This is like the dynamic duo. So as you'll see, you can get the biotin collagen drops and the D3K2 drops in a bundled discount. So it's regular like 45 bucks. You're going to get it for $38. That's 15% off. So that is an amazing deal to have those bundled together. And I'm telling you, those are 2 fantastic items or products that really, we've got a bunch of live streams if you ever want to know specifically about the biotin collagen drops. Biotin and collagen do way more than just affect your hair, skin, and nails. Yes, they're incredible for that, but there's also some pretty amazing clinical evidence that it helps in a tremendous way with better energy. Everything is absorbed intercellularly, so just check that out. Do a little research, or you can always hit the live notification button. That way you can be notified anytime we go live, and we've always got great information on all of these products. So the oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. The D3 and K2 drops, okay? I'm gonna give you a close up. These are amazing. I love anything in liquid form, okay? Sometimes I get pill fatigue. When you've taken like 2 or 3 capsules and you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't wanna take anymore. That's me. That's what it's like my throat says no more pills. This is a fantastic option. Plus, anything in liquid form bypasses the digestive tract. You don't have to wait for it to break down in your system, and it's rapid absorption. Okay, so I'm loving this. This is the Nutraharmony Vitamin D3 and K2 immune and bone support at a minimum. All right, you are going to get, this is a 2 fluid ounce bottle, and you're going to get, let me pull some information up here. So this, my friends, is a 60-day supply, okay? The 2 ounce is going to get you 60 days. So I love the fact that they've really thought it through and said, okay, most brands do a month supply, if even that. This is going to get you 2 months. And look at the price. It's pretty amazing, okay? It's $19.89. And then if you choose this item and one more, because you got to choose 2 items, and you enter that promo code at checkout, you're going to get 20% off of that already low price. So these are pretty amazing. Let me switch back something in my technical things here. Okay, I wanted to open them up. And honestly, I just started taking these about 2 weeks ago. And I mean, there's barely anything on. So I'm thrilled that it's a whole 2 month supply. But you're going to do 1 milliliter, which is a half dropper full. Let me try to get you close here. My camera wants to focus on my face and not this. But if you can see, there's a 1 milliliter marker right there. So my favorite way to take these is probably directly under my tongue, because I love taking anything in a sublingual way. It's rapid absorption. It goes immediately into the bloodstream. You just got to hold it under your tongue for about 60 seconds. Just walk around the house for 60 seconds with this under your tongue and then swallow. But you can also add this into just about any drink. I mean, I've got my insulated thing. You could plop that in here. Here's the thing about that. I want to make sure I get the full dose of this incredible product. So I like to just put all of that goodness straight into my mouth. I feel like when you mix it in some drinks, especially something as big as this, like you might lose some of that. And I mean, you might be somebody who drinks several of these a day. I probably should, but I don't. I just want to make sure that I get the optimal dose right at the right time that works for my body. So sometimes I've even been known to put it in just a little, like 2 ounces of water and just, chug it. So this is the post-holiday crash fixer, okay? Not to mention we all need extra vitamin D because of the lack of sunshine. It's the mix of kind of feeling wiped out because we have shorter days and a lot less sunshine. So it makes you feel tired, all right? But it's right when, excuse me, the winter chill sets in is when we really start to need that extra vitamin D. And because it's so cold, we end up staying inside way more, right? But being cooped up means a lot less sun and less time outdoors. And that can really mess with our internal clocks. It does with me. It can kind of tank our mood and totally zap our energy. So I've always said for a couple years now that I feel like I'm solar powered. Like I get up with the sun, I get up before the sun. And then as the evening creeps in, now the sun goes down so much earlier, I'm like ready for bed at 5:30. That is not, I mean, granted, it's not like I'm tired. It's just my body just starts to react with the level of light. And so it's a struggle for me during the colder months, that's for sure. That's why getting some basic nutritional help like the vitamin D3, K2 drops as a supplement, it's not just a trendy thing to do. It's honestly essential for getting through this colder winter period, much shorter days, a lot less sunlight. This is what they call it. They call it the sunshine vitamin, okay? Because it really is key for so many things. It is key for keeping your immune system strong, for maintaining those healthy bones, and super important right now, helping you manage your mood and your energy since there's barely any strong sunlight in the winter, especially in places with shorter days and kind of weakened sun. Our bodies just cannot make enough vitamin D on their own without that sunshine. I live 15 minutes from the beach, so sunshine is a huge part of our life. I mean, even when it's really cold here, which here for really cold, it's like 40s. We think we're freezing completely when it's in the 40s. I'm originally from an area in the mountains where you've got 0 degrees, sometimes negative temperatures. Every few years we would get a cold front, and I mean it would be frigid. So 45 here, even though everybody around me thinks they're freezing, I know it's really not freezing. But my point is, here in the Carolina area, and we're about 15 minutes off the coast of North Carolina, we love the sunshine and we thrive in the sunshine. But when the sunshine starts to go away, that's when we all really struggle, and our bodies cannot make enough vitamin D on their own. So if you're trying to kind of shake off the winter blues and get your energy back, fixing this vitamin D shortage is a super simple and smart and very effective place to start. It will make sure that your vitamin D levels are good in the core, like biological function for better sustained energy, for emotional balance, and then a much healthier immune response during the darkest and coldest times of the year. So it's kind of like the simple step, first step, I should say, that helps you just bounce back into your normal routine, feeling resilient and energized. Now, here's the thing, what truly sets this specific formula apart in kind of the crowded wellness market is its very exceptional and thoughtful design. So it combines two powerhouse ingredients, vitamin D3 and K2, and it kind of works synergistically together. Here's the thing, you do not want to be taking a D3 supplement without your K2. That allows for bioavailability. Not to mention, it's more bioavailable because it's in liquid format. So this is a deliberate choice on the brand from Nutraharmony, and they made it into a liquid and they combined the K2 for maximum absorption. But it's also, I love the fact that it works seamlessly into an already probably established morning routine that you might have. It's effortless, it's fuss-free, it takes 2 seconds, and I'm all about simplicity, especially in the area of health supplements. So forget the struggle of like swallowing large pills or managing all these like complex supplement schedules. No, not with this stuff. This solution is as simple as just a few, a few drops. Okay, so there's no complicated steps to remember. The process never feels overwhelming. I've personally found that the key to kind of maximizing the benefits and establishing a very well-remembered, solid daily habit is to take it earlier in the day, specifically alongside my breakfast. So I always try to have a little bit of healthy fat. I try to go for, mostly protein in the morning. That just works for my body. And I always have a little bit of healthy fat, like full fat cottage cheese or cashews or an egg. So I want that healthy fat. This is what you want to take with a healthy fat breakfast. So, and I'm not saying you can't take it. You can take it any time of day. It just this is a fat soluble vitamin. So the pairing not only aids in the absorption of the fat soluble vitamin, but also it acts as a very subtle yet really powerful like psychological trigger. It helps to kind of cultivate that essential, okay, it's time to refocus and get back on track. It just helps to set the tone for my day. I have not had any breakfast this morning, so I have not taken this yet. I had to start work early, very early this morning, and that's okay. I'm thankful. But the first thing I do, first thing I'm going to do when I end this live stream is go have some breakfast, and I take my vitamin D3 K2. All right. So I have really been loving this, and I'm trying to make sure that my entire family is on board with this as well, because as I mentioned, shorter days, a lot less sunshine. We need that extra vitamin D that our body cannot produce on its own without exposure to the sun. And as I mentioned, I'm originally from an area, I grew up in a mountain area, and I struggled, I remember, for like 3 months out of the year because although it's super sunshiny here, typically on even the coldest of days, where I'm originally from, it was like dreary and overcast, and we barely saw the sun, for days and days and days at a time. And that was kind of a 3 or 4 month streak every single year. So this I have really been loving. But here's the thing, when it comes to refocusing and getting back on track, it's a mindset. Okay, you have to get your mind right for that habit forming to take place, so you can create new neural pathways in your brain. That if you provide intention behind that new habit that you're trying to form, it will be a lot easier. So I keep this right on my kitchen counter, in an area that it's kind of like the central area where our calendar and things like that are. And I walk past it 1,000 times a day. So when I have my breakfast, that's the first thing that I go and I take. So it definitely, the synergistic effect of the D3 and K2 combined, honestly, it kind of ensures that you're getting that comprehensive support for both, for bone health and then proper calcium utilization. And that's the important part. Okay. So the D3K2 combo is super important for calcium utilization. You want to absorb all of that nutrients that you can. But it's kind of wrapped up together in one very simple daily dropper full. And it makes it super simple. So if your goal for the new year is just to kind of nail a consistent daily habit, something really steady and reliable, not something crazy and lots of steps, this product is exactly what you need. It's excellent. It is totally manageable from the first step. It gives you that core nutritional support without needing a total lifestyle overhaul, because that's just way too complicated, especially after Christmas, right? You can go ahead and tap on the D3K2 drops in the product carousel to check out the benefits and the details while we keep chatting. And of course, always let me know if you have any questions. This stuff really is the perfect way to kind of anchor your routine and return with health and good intention. Now, that being said, I do want to talk about energy in a way that really makes sense after the holidays, and I want to switch to the Nutraharmony Methylated B-Complex capsules. So these are pretty fascinating to me. I didn't know much about methylation, especially in the form of B-complex, but wow, I am actually loving this. I'm going to highlight that in the product carousel. Now, the neat thing is, especially right after Christmas, so many people feel, they start to describe that feeling of like they're tired, but they're wired, right? I can definitely relate to that. So you're exhausted, but you don't actually feel calm, okay? You know you need energy, but the idea of another cup of coffee or anything that's overly stimulating just does not sound appealing anymore, because what starts to happen when you have too much caffeine, your sleep starts to be greatly affected. And if we ever need sleep right around this time of year, it's now, right? After the holidays, we all need some rest. So this is where B vitamins really can start to play an amazing role, an amazing supportive role, because they work with your body's natural systems instead of pushing them. All right. And there's a difference. So B vitamins are essential for our body's natural energy producing processes. They help to convert the nutrients from all the food that you ate or that you're currently eating. I ate way too much over the holidays, but they take the food that you eat and they turn it into usable fuel, which is why they are so often included in daily wellness routines that are focused on getting steadier, better energy, and even in the area of mental, like cognitive ability. Vitamins like the B6 and B12 and folate, they are involved in a ton of cellular metabolism and they support healthy nerve function as well. And that just further contributes to better energy that feels more consistent and more balanced throughout the day. So I have never taken any of these products and they've given me like that surge or that jolt of energy. That's not what I want. That's a very temporary, it's kind of like putting a band-aid on something. It might get you that temporary energy fix, but what happens after that jolt of energy? It's the inevitable crash. I do not like that feeling. I'd much rather just be a clean, sustained level of energy that carries me throughout the day. What makes this formula especially helpful is that it is methylated. So hear me on this. Methylation, that simply means that the B vitamins are provided in a form that's designed to be easier for your body to recognize. It makes it more bioavailable. So you're going to absorb it on a cellular level. Now, some people they don't convert certain forms of B vitamins as efficiently. So using methylated forms really can help support better utilization. This doesn't make the energy feel stronger. It just makes it feel smoother and more dependable. And that's what I want. I want energy that I can wake up with and that's going to be sustained throughout the entire day. I hate the feeling of that afternoon super fatigued feel. I just can't stand that. I dread it. But what I can say is, since I've been supplementing with so many of these amazing products, specifically these core ones that we're talking about now, the methylated B vitamins, the D3K2, and the lion's mane, which we're going to get to that, I've really noticed a difference. I shouldn't say increase, because it's not like you have this huge increase of energy. It's a difference in a way that you have the sustained energy throughout the day that lasts. And that has been very different for me to experience, because I don't drink much coffee anymore. I mean, honestly, I haven't had a cup of coffee in a couple of weeks. I still enjoy a cup of coffee, but I feel like I don't need it anymore, which is pretty incredible. I used to kind of live on that caffeine roller coaster. And, uh, once you get into the later part of the afternoon, you don't necessarily want to consume more caffeine to continue walking through your day, because then it affects your sleep. Did you know your body can build up caffeine in reserves within your body? Just like you can build up mineral reserves, your body can build up caffeine reserves, which you think aren't doing anything. When you lay down to sleep, that's when they kind of flow out, which, don't take my word for it, look it up. So the last thing I want to do is continue filling my body with caffeine. I want something that is really going to make a change in the area that is sustainable energy. I want to be able to kind of coast through my day and, even in the evening, still feel like, okay, I still feel good. My mind gets tired long before my body does, to be honest with you, at least at this point. So I really, really love these as a part of the New Year reset, because the energy support doesn't feel forced in any way. There's no spike, there's no rush, there's no surge, and there's no crash later on. Instead, it feels more like your body's natural rhythm, which really is especially helpful when you are trying to kind of rebuild routines after the holidays, either rebuild routines or start new ones. And that helps you to avoid that mid-afternoon slump when you incorporate these part of your routine. It often comes from caffeine overload. If you experience that fatigue feeling, that midday crash, that is a good indication that, one, you're consuming way too much sugar, so you're getting that sugar crash, or you're consuming way too much caffeine. You're getting a caffeine overload, so your body is just crashing after. Now, I usually take the Methylated B-Complex capsules in the morning or late morning, okay? I've taken them both on an empty stomach and with food. They can be taken either or. And I really haven't seen a difference in either, but taking them with food has been known to support better absorption and makes them a little more gentler on the stomach. I typically do not have a very sensitive stomach. I feel like I could eat rocks and my stomach wouldn't be affected. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. I can take, any of these products on an empty stomach and they don't mess with the sensitivity of my stomach. But a lot of people who have a sensitive digestive tract or a sensitive gut, just take them with a little bit of food. Anytime you take anything with food, I think it allows for better absorption. Capsules are also incredibly convenient. There's no mixing, there's no flavor, to think about, no extra steps. You just take them with water and you move on with your day. Let me go ahead and show you. And the capsules are fairly small, honestly, compared to many capsules that I'm used to taking. It's hard to get a size reference here, but I mean, it's a pretty small capsule, so not difficult to swallow at all. It makes them a really, really great option for busy mornings. These are fantastic for when you travel, workload that's heavy. Anyone that wants to, a grab and go supplement, this is a great option and fits easily into an already existing routine. They also pair beautifully with the other foundational wellness products that I'm talking about today, like the D3 K2 and the Lion's Mane, which we're going to get to, because that's going to help in a pretty amazing way with that mental clarity. So I hear my very large dog showing up in the background. Hey, buddy. This is sometimes he shows up on my live streams. He is a 200-pound European Great Dane, so you can't miss him when he walks into the camera scene. He normally lays right under me and supervises. He's the quiet helper. All right, buddy, lay down. So now all you see, it looks like a dairy cow walking in the background. I get it. Okay, so if your goal for the new year is better energy that feels more dependable and predictable and more balanced, but not that jittery or overwhelming feeling, the Nutraharmony Methylated B-Complex capsules are absolutely worth exploring. I should have switched to this a long time ago. I'm so sorry, y'all. These are the 3 products that I'm talking about today. Now, let me check my time here. Okay, we're doing all right. If you are just joining us, welcome. Super happy to have you guys here. Definitely take advantage of the promo code NH December 20. That's Nutraharmony NH December and 20. That's going to get you 20% off of 2 items. So you got to put 2 items in your cart, but trust me, you're going to want these 3, and you're going to be, amazed at the support that you start to feel. You just have to be consistent, okay? Your body knows what it's supposed to do. It knows how to produce its own energy in a clean, sustainable way. You just have to, a lot of times it just needs a little help. We walk around in such a, chronically depleted state of depleted minerals, depleted vitamins, depleted all the things. So we have to sometimes give our body a little bit of help, and it will start learning how to produce, or it will start, I guess I should say, it will get back to that natural energy production that it once knew, like when you were quite a bit younger, and your body just did it on its own. As we age, we need a little bit of extra support. So you're going to feel a little more steady, a little more capable. You're definitely going to experience more energy from the inside out. So go ahead and take a look in the carousel. Take a closer look if you want at the details. See if they are a good fit for your routine. Now, I do want to switch to, let me check my time again. Okay, so I want to switch to the lion's mane. All right. I want to talk about the mental side of energy, because especially after the holidays, it's not just about being awake, right? It's also being clearer in your mind. It's about being more present. It's about being able to focus again, because we had, a whole lot of crazy and chaos going on for the holidays. So my routine is slowly getting back to that. And I just want, I want that mental support that I know I get from the lion's mane. So after weeks and weeks of packed calendars, family visiting, you visiting family, maybe all the dinners, all the cooking, all the shopping, social gatherings. Oh my goodness, like it's a lot of mental input, if you will. And there's a ton of people that head into the new year just feeling a little foggy, way more foggy than they should. You're technically rested, maybe, but your brain still feels quite a bit scattered. So you might sit down to kind of do your work or plan your day, and it feels like it takes a lot longer than usual to get into that focused flow. That is very common post-holiday experience. And it is exactly where mental clarity support becomes important. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the lion's mane drops. Now, I do want you to know that we have the lion's mane in two formulas. We have it in the liquid drops and we have it in the capsules. They are both right beside each other in the product carousel. So let me give you a close-up of both of them. My preference is the liquid, just because I love anything in liquid form. It is more bioavailable to my body. You get rapid absorption. Absolutely nothing wrong with the capsules. These are great for travel, great for like the no fuss, kind of just pop in your mouth, 2 capsules a day versus 1 milliliter. So, it's a half dropper full. I take several capsules, and sometimes I get pill fatigue. So I love anything in liquid form. It's even easier to me than capsules, because you don't even have to get water, You just pop the liquid under your tongue. That's it. The lion's mane, my friends, it fits beautifully into a daily wellness routine. Here's the thing about lion's mane. It is most commonly included in routines focused on mental clarity, better focus, better presence, rather than feeling stimulating or intense. No, not at all. This supports a calm, steady sense of focus, the kind that kind of helps you stay mentally engaged without feeling overstimulated. And I like to describe the lion's mane as just supporting the quality of your focus. It's not like it zones in and makes you focus. It helps to support your focus. So it's not about doing more or about like pushing harder. It's about helping your thoughts feel more organized and your attention feel more grounded. And I know that sounds a little bit like, okay, like that's a little woo-woo. I get it. But if you've not taken lion's mane, you're messing out, because I have a background in psychology, so I know I'm familiar with the cognitive ability that we all have and how the neurotransmitters within our brain excuse me, react and work together synergistically. When you provide your brain with support, it's pretty amazing what will happen. And again, this is not in any way a stimulant. This is more like a calm focus. It helps your mind to feel clearer. It helps your energy happen naturally. The energy feels more usable, and your day kind of flows a little more smoothly. It's just something that, I've experienced. I'm very much aware of how of how my body responds to new supplements. I've been experimenting with new health supplements for a long time, and I've taken lion's mane for a long time, but I've honestly never taken it in a liquid form like Nutraharmony has, and I prefer that way more over a capsule. So it's just something that you really have to experience on your own. The lion's mane liquid, okay, again, it's available in both the drops and the capsules, which honestly is something that I really appreciate. They kind of make it work for, whatever kind of routine that you like. It allows you to personalize your routine instead of just forcing yourself into a one size fits all approach. The lion's mane, they really are a great option if you enjoy adding supplements to water, tea, any kind of wellness drinks, or if you love taking them sublingually like I do, right under your tongue. They're flexible, they're easy to adjust, they fit really well into your morning routine, work from home days, moments when you're kind of easing back into productivity. I love to keep a few bottles around, like one on my office desk and one in my purse, because if I'm out running errands and I'm feeling a little bit like brain foggy, I'll put another dropper full, or half dropper full, I guess you should say, under my tongue. Super easy. You don't even need water to take them. So the 1 milliliter mark is on here. It's just hard to see. So it's basically a half dropper full. And you put them right under your tongue. It's that easy. I just dripped it on myself. So the taste, people are like, well, what does it taste like? Well, I think it has like the slightest bit of an herbal. It doesn't taste like a mushroom. It just has a slight like herbal taste. That's it. And kind of a almost like I guess you could say like a slight berry taste. I mean, it's lovely. There's nothing difficult about taking it. Let me grab a drink real quick. The neat thing is, like I said, you can take these at any time of day. You don't even have to worry about having water because it's not a capsule, it's a liquid form. But if you prefer capsules, 2 capsules a day. That's for optimal dose. A lot of people use the drops because they become part of a very simple routine, and they are added to a drink or your tea or your coffee or whatever. So you don't have to necessarily remember, taking 2 more capsules. The lion's mane capsules are, of course, perfect if you prefer just structure and simplicity. You take them with water or any other drink, usually earlier in the day, and they just become a part of your daily rhythm without mixing or any kind of prep. So the capsules are especially convenient for busy schedules, for travel, anyone who just wants a straightforward, like grab and go option. Of course, both of these formats support, I'm sorry, I can't get my words together here. It's early and all right, I just took my lion's mane. Maybe it'll make my lips work a little bit better. But both formula and formats, they support basically the same goal, and that's helping you feel more mentally clear, more focused, more present throughout the day. The difference isn't about effectiveness at all. It's about what you'll actually use consistently. So I find the drops that I use way more consistent because I already take several capsules throughout the day. So I love having the liquid form of the drops. Consistency, friends, that's where these routines really shine. That's when the results show up. So when something fits easily into your life, you are far more likely to stick with it, right? And that's when you begin to kind of notice the biggest benefits. So whether you choose the drops or the capsules, or even alternate between the two, depending upon the day, the lion's mane is a really incredible way to support mental clarity as you kind of transition out of the holiday season and into just a more focused, intentional start to the new year. Okay, let's do a quick check-in. I see there's a few other people that have jumped on. After the holidays, are you more focused on kind of rebuilding energy or clearing brain fog? Let me know in the chat. I would love to know. I feel like, because I've been taking many of these products for a good while now, I feel like my energy is great on most days, and I feel like my cognitive ability starts to decline a little bit because of the crazy chaos that just happened. So I personally am more focused on mental support, clearing that brain fog. Now, I want to bring all of this together as a kind of a post-Christmas, pre-New Year energy reset, because this really is, it's in between seasons and it's actually one of the most powerful times to reset if you approach it gently. So right now, the holidays are behind us, but the new year hasn't fully started yet. So that's often, where people pause. Routines are lighter, expectations are much softer, and there's a space to kind of start to reflect on how you actually want to feel moving forward and walking into 2026. So instead of jumping straight into extreme resolutions, because those never stick, those are hardly ever sustainable, right? You don't necessarily need intense plans or kind of an all or nothing approach. This routine supports energy from multiple different angles and in a way that feels really doable, realistic, sustainable. So the D3K2 drops, I'm going to highlight those once more, and just wrapping it all up. And hopefully you guys can see that on the graphic beside you: new year, new you, energy, clean energy stack, no crash, no stimulants. We're working with the vitamin D3K2, the methylated B-Complex, and the lion's mane. So the D3K2 drops, just to recap, supports foundational daily wellness, but specifically during the winter months when sunlight is very limited and we're spending a lot more time indoors. It helps to kind of establish a steady baseline as well, something consistent that you really can rely on, that'll ease you back into those normal rhythms. Then the methylated B-Complex capsules. Let me highlight that in the product carousel. These support the body's natural energy producing processes. They help to convert nutrients from the food that you eat into usable fuel. And because they are methylated, it's amazing, right? It's way more bioavailable to your body, which is really what we want. We want to be able to absorb these B vitamins on a cellular level. The methylated B vitamins, I love that they work quietly in the background, okay? It doesn't force energy. It doesn't create any energy spikes. It just helps the energy that you already have feel a lot more steady, feel more reliable, feel more, I guess you could say, usable throughout the day. I don't know if I showed you I showed you the capsule size. Really small, very, very, very easy to take. And you are going to take 1 capsule per day, all right? So then we'll switch to the lion's mane drops. So we've got the lion's mane in the capsules or the drops, which I love that you can choose either or. The lion's mane helps to support mental clarity. I guess you could say the mental side of energy. Energy is not just physical, as we know, it's also cognitive. So when your mind feels scattered or foggy, even a rested body can feel super drained. But by supporting focus and mental presence, I guess you could say, it helps your energy feel a lot more directed and productive instead of so like fragmented, like up and down, like a roller coaster. I hate that feeling. Now, 2 additional products that actually fit beautifully into this reset, if you're interested in anything additionally, especially after the holidays, are the Nutraharmony Cortisol Health Support Capsules. Let me go ahead and highlight that. I take these every day. I'm loving these. If you know much about cortisol, higher cortisol levels are directly connected to broken sleep patterns and increased lower abdominal fat. And I wish there was a prettier way to say that, but there's just not. So anytime that you are experiencing either one of those or both, you might want to take a look at your cortisol levels. We need balanced cortisol levels, okay? And I've been loving them, absolutely loving them. I also want to just bring your attention to the biotin and collagen drops. Well, let me go over the cortisol health really quickly. They really are, and I have them here. Let me find them in my big stack of things here. Well, where are they? Here they are, sorry. So 1 capsule per day gives you that cortisol balancing support. It's a great option if the holidays kind of left you feeling mentally full, really emotionally stretched, or just a little on edge. This formula is designed to support the body's natural stress response and promote a much calmer, more balanced feeling throughout the day. I like to think of this product as, a product that kind of helps with everything. It helps feel less reactive. And I have been experiencing that, like, hands down. there's a ton of people that enjoy taking it later in the day or even early in the evening when the mental load starts to kind of catch up and you want to wind down without feeling shut down, if you will. It pairs beautifully with the B-complex, the methylated B-complex with the lion's mane. It works together, all of these products synergistically, but it works specifically by helping to support emotional steadiness and overall balance as the day kind of winds down. So now, just quickly, I want to tell you about the biotin collagen drops. Let me find them in the product carousel. There we go. And by the way, the biotin collagen drops are also, there's a bundled, well, why is my, there we go. So there's a bundled 2-product duo. It's the biotin collagen drops and the D3K2. I'll highlight that, 15% off, so that you're getting a great bundled discount. But the biotin collagen drops, let me find them here. There we go. Tastes like delicious berries, by the way. No difficulty taking them whatsoever. They're just a wonderful addition if part of your New Year reset includes caring for yourself from the inside out. So after the holidays, the late nights, the colder weather, all the less routine, your hair, skin, nails, they often need a little extra support, right? But this stuff does way more than just affect your hair, skin, and nails. The liquid drops are designed to fit easily into your routine, whether you add them to your water, your smoothies, whether you take them directly. Biotin is commonly included in beauty regimes and routines because of its role that supports keratin, while collagen helps support skin elasticity and connective tissue as well. So the liquid maybe the lion's mane is working overdrive on my brain because my brain is working faster than my lips. Anywho, let me slow down because I'm trying to get all this information to you in the next like 5 minutes when I have to wrap things up. Slow down, Katie. Okay, so the liquid format makes it really easy to kind of stay on track and stay consistent. And that is especially helpful when you're kind of trying to rebuild habits for the new year. So the simple routine, it might look like this, okay? D3 and K2 drops, methylated B vitamins earlier in the day to support that foundational wellness and that steady energy. Then you could do the lion's mane in the morning or the early afternoon for better focus and mental clarity. You could do the biotin collagen drops as part of your daily beauty hydration routine. Keep these in your bathroom as you're brushing your teeth and putting your skincare on. Take these then. And then of course the cortisol health support capsules later in the day just to help to support balance and calm. Again, this isn't about new year, new everything, all right? It's about new year, new you energy, steady, supported energy, realistic energy. And it's really about choosing tools that kind of fit into your life and help you feel better, but without all of that extra pressure and lots of steps within your supplement routine. So sometimes, that's exactly what your energy and your body needs is simplified, right? I love simple. So as you kind of browse the carousel, feel free to tap into any product that fits where you are right now. Get some more detail about it, read into it. You don't have to do everything at once. Education is a big part of this process, right? And understanding what you're taking and why. It helps you make a confident, informed choice. That's why we do these live streams. So we can hopefully clear things up when it comes to a lot of the confusion that exists around a health supplement brand. So I have just a few more minutes and I'm going to, let me check my time here real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna go over just a few questions that have come in specifically about like energy, mental clarity, things like that. So if I can remember them all. So a lot of people say during the winter that they're not, of course, feeling themselves. They feel lower energy, that even when they're sleeping enough. And that is a very common experience. During the winter, just to recap what we talked about earlier in the live stream, the daylight hours are much less, a lot less sunlight. Changes in your routine can definitely affect how energized we feel from day to day. And sleep is super important, but energy is also influenced by things like nutrient support and seasonal rhythms. That's why so many people look to foundational support during the winter, especially things like in the vitamin D3 and K2. All right, those are commonly included in seasonal wellness routines. And that's also why products like the methylated B vitamins and the D3K2 work together so well, especially this time of year. So a lot of people want to know how B vitamins can support your energy, but without feeling stimulating. So B vitamins support the body's natural energy processes and they help to convert food into usable energy throughout the day. So they don't work like caffeine or like quick energy drinks and quick boosts. Rather, they support steadier energy, more consistent energy. And that's why so many people prefer something like the Methylated B-Complex capsules, because it supports daily energy and nervous system function, but all without that jittery feeling that caffeine brings. So I did mention just quickly about what methylated is. It just means that the vitamins are in a form that is designed to be easier for the body to use. And it just makes it more bioavailable. So a lot easier for your body to absorb. Most people want to know when's the best time to take methylated B complex. I prefer to take them earlier in the day, usually in the morning with my breakfast, although you can take them, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. I just like B vitamins are a fat soluble vitamin. So I definitely like to take them with my breakfast. So the timing works well, in the morning because it helps to boost that natural energy. But you do what you feel like is best for your body. Find a simple routine, one that completely fits into your day, and just listen to your body. Watch how it responds. All right, I am just about out of time. So very quickly, the D3 and the K2 and the B vitamins, they can be used together in the same routine. A lot of people include them together as part of their daily wellness routine, especially during the winter months, the colder months, the less sunshine months. And they're taken earlier in the day, typically with a little bit of food. They pair super well with other foundational products throughout the Nutraharmony line. So if you're someone who likes simple routines, combining something as simple as the D3 and K2 drops with the methylated B vitamins, it really can be such an easy place to start. So my friends, as we wrap things up, I just want to leave you with this reminder. There honestly is really no better time than right now. Okay, Christmas is behind us, the celebrations have slowed down, and the new year is right in front of us. So this in-between space is such a gift. It's quieter, it's more reflective, and it kind of gives you the opportunity to start thinking about how you're going to reset, but without all that added pressure. No extreme routines needed here. So you don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to commit to crazy, harsh resolutions. Sometimes the most meaningful changes come from just choosing a few simple, supportive steps or routines that you can actually stick with. This is the moment, my friends, to listen to what your body needs, to kind of notice where your energy feels off, and to gently support yourself as you move forward into 2026. Any of the Nutraharmony products that we talked about today, if they have felt like a good fit for you and where you're at, whether it's supporting steady energy, cleaner focus, daily energy balance, but from the inside out, you can go ahead and tap on any of the products in the product carousel to learn more. Take your time, read through the details, and choose what aligns with your routine and your goals. So there's no rush and no right way or wrong way to build your own personalized reset. So don't forget that you can use the NH December 20 promo code at checkout on 2 items, and that will save you 20%. So definitely take advantage of that discount and get stocked up on some of these amazing products. But thank you all so much for spending your morning with me. I truly appreciate you being here, and it just allows me to be a part of this moment in your reset, hopefully, that you have planned. So I'll stay, I'll keep you guys in tune with any new products that come up, and I will, of course, continue experimenting with many of these products and figuring out what best works for me, and I will always be sharing that with you guys. So I will see you on the next live. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the day. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope that you feel more grounded, more focused, and more supportive. So I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye, friends.